Well, hey, welcome back. This is my second video of the day, but I did want to try to I want to try to just show some of the new features. In the last video, if you had missed it, I go through some of the new maps that I've added to the game. In addition to that, and just adding new scenarios and things, I'm also um, trying to really bring this game up to the standards that I want it to be. And so I've kind of been trying to add as many convenience factors for players. So we're going to kind of go over a few of them. The first one is that the way the game used to be was where you installed the game, all of your save files were being created, which that creates a problem. That creates a problem that you had to run the game in admin mode. Um, because admin mode or a game cannot like write things into the program files area without having elevated access. So because of that, you always had to run the game in admin mode, which was just another step that was just a thing that you had to remember, and it would just be another annoying thing. Um, so what I've done was now the game will actually write into the app data area, which is an area that applications can write into without having to have elevated access. So now you don't have to run the game as an administrator. And it also means that the game won't throw an error up when you first start the game, which was saying something like, "Hey, you don't have permission." Well, now you don't get that error anymore, so that's great. Um, so that's one thing. The second thing is, I've added a bunch of new screens that allow you to do neat things like manage these games. Like this particular one is this Aegean Offensive that we're gonna play around with, and so for that I can rename it if I wanted to. If I hit rename, I could actually just rename the file if I wanted to. Um, and But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go into this game and then actually, yeah, we're going to do that because what I'm going to show is I'm going to try to set this thing up, and I'm going to have to do a little weird stuff in order to get it to work. But basically what I want to do is I want to set the game up so that I'm actually have both sides of a multiplayer match on my same PC. Normally the game won't allow that because it won't allow you to create another folder with the same unique ID of the game, but I can get around that just for testing purposes. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is we're going to play this Aegean offensive game, and I'll play it as at least I'll start it as the Soviets, and then I'll send the file through the cloud, and I'll initially give it to my opponent. They'll load the game, and then all changes after that would happen through the cloud. I may, well, when we get to it, I'll explain a little about that. I might change the way that works to make it even easier. But right now, I'm trying to limit the amount of bandwidth or storage I'm using on the cloud because it costs money, simply. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to rename this, and I'm just going to basically name it, Soviet. I'll name it Soviet so I know it when I'm looking at it that this is the Soviet side. Because I'm going to have two versions of the game running at the same time, and it'd be pretty hard not to know that. Okay, so all right, so now I'm going to start. So this is going to go into the. Normally, you can start a game right off the bat by just going through the start menu. But here's another way of doing it that I'll just show that ability. So in this one, I'm really there's nothing I want to do. I just want to review the map. Essentially, I think for the Aegean offensive, essentially you have this objective here at Lemnos where the Americans and NATO are trying to get into the Aegean. So all ships, like for instance, um, ships want to either get into the Aegean this way, or they want to get to this Lemnos, right? So the AI, if this was AI, it would try to run it in here. But basically, that's the objectives of it, and you can check the objectives by looking at the rules, which just shows you the rules here. Okay. All right. Notice there's also a new area both here and when you first come into the game. So this is your help screen. You now have a button called Get New Version. So once you get the newest version of my game, you never have to actually go out to Google Drive again to get the file. You never have to click the link again to get the file. You just click this button. When we click this button, it'll basically go out. It'll grab the file, it'll bring it down into your My Downloads directory, and then it'll shut this game down so that you can install the game. All right. So anyway, so what was I doing? Okay. So yeah, here's the rules. All right. So anyway, so what we're gonna set ourselves up as a multiplayer game. All right, so I am going to set, since both of these, since both AI are set to no AI, that means it's going to be a person against a person. You notice you have this my side, and this basically says, hey, what side am I playing? Well, if I put it to none, I'm not playing any side, then that means that I'm going to play both sides. Okay, I don't have a particular side. If I want to play no sides, and actually have it AI versus AI, then what I would do is I would update allies to normal and Soviet to normal, for instance. Notice that takes away the my side option. Okay, so if you come into the setup, which most people don't, but I'm showing you kind of the underpinnings of how the game can be set up. But I'm going to set the AI both to none, so that allows me to then say, okay, well, am I playing solitaire or am I playing as a side? So I'm going to play as the Soviets. All right, all right. All right, so when I hit start, basically it's going to go through this, and once I reach the point at which it needs to the other person needs to go, it's going to let me know. Okay? So anyway, so big picture, Russians got to stop the Americans. The Americans trying to get in the Aegean Sea. The Russians have a whole bunch of stuff. They got a bunch of subs all around. They got the Kiev group here. Notice the Minsk is here. They think they got the Kirovs over here, I think. Yeah, the Kirovs over here. They got a bunch of stuff. And they also got bombers up here too. Let's see, three Badger squadrons. All right, so anyway, we're gonna hit go. All right, now we go into the deployment. There's really no deployment to do here, so I'm gonna skip past it. All right, so this is the Soviets. I basically did everything I want to do. I could join things up into things. Let me do that at least. I'll create a group with all ungrouped in hex. I'm just gonna find all of the areas where there's task forces and do that. I think that's it because everything else is subs. Yes. Oh, there's another little group here of two patrol craft. All right, cool. All right, so that's about it. Um, all right, let's go. I'm also going to turn off just while I have it. I'm also going to turn off the auto show help first time just because I know all the faces. So okay, bang. Okay, so I think you've seen this on the last video. This part is the only part that's still left over from like moving files around. Okay, so now you notice before it used to have a way you can like load files from here, but you don't load files anymore. Now the only place you load the files is the very first time when you're telling someone to join this file, right? Because they don't have a link to your game. So I might change this where it doesn't even you don't need to send a file even for this, but I need to check to see how storage goes on Azure first. If it's not that big a deal and it's very cheap to keep larger files up there, then I'll just have this file go immediately up there. And what you'll have to do is probably just provide the unique ID of the game, which I'll give an ability for that. But for right now, this one step is still you're exchanging a file with somebody. Okay? So notice there's some other things here, like check for opponent update. This is when we get into it being going back and forth and stuff. So anyway, so let's go with okay. So I'm just going to drop this multi-save file on the put it on the desktop. I'll grab it from there. Okay, and then I'm going to close the application because then I got to switch places over to the other player. All right, so now I'm going to run this thing again, but before I do that, I'm going to go into the save thing. This is something I'm hacking it so that I can do this. But I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to make sure it doesn't have. Uh, okay, cool. So, all right, so now it shouldn't warn me if I'm trying to create another one of the same name. So we'll see. All right, so this is the only time you have to manually do this right now, like I said. So I'm going to join a new multiplayer game. Imagine I've just told myself, hey, I've created a game, and I've sent myself the file, so I'm going to load it. So I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to grab this file. It says, hey, here it is. Here's the save file, and you'll be playing as allies. Great, I am. Great. So I'm going to hit start. Once I hit start, then now I can run it both sides. Okay. All right. So boom. Now I'm in deployment. There's really nothing to do here other than group some groups. I'm going to just do that because I just want to show you how it's now going to the cloud. Let's see, where's this other ship? That's a single ship. There's no reason to put that into a group. Group these guys. Here's all the American stuff. I think there's two frigates here, so we'll group that. And I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. And we didn't need to group these. I just group them because I like getting it out of the way. Because there's another phase later on where you can group them, but I just like getting it out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna hit next. So this should send it out to the well, it'll do some stuff first, and then it'll send it to the Russian side to do their work. All right, of course, Adriatic and Eastern Med. It could have been worse. All right, don't want to do any deep mode. I'm just gonna skip past a bunch of phases here. I do want to assign some cap just cause. I'll assign the F-14 as also the cap. Heck, I'll I'll assign both F-14s to cap. All right. And this F-16 I'll sign to cap too. I'm being ultra conservative. All right, but I think that's it. There's no other cap I want to submit. So, all right, there's nothing I need to do here. I already created the groups. I don't want to set anything to high, so I just grab it. I'm going to activate everything. I don't want to put any subs in full. I'm not going to activate any aircraft yet, so I'm just going to skip past this. Okay, boom. Please send a cloud or skip. Okay, so here we go. Why does it give me the choice? Because theoretically, if I'm talking with my buddy, we might be in a phase where they don't, you know, it does take some time for you to transfer the file and for that other person to pick it up and do their stuff, and maybe they don't have anything left to do. So you could just skip past that turn. Okay, you click that, but we're gonna send it to the cloud. All right. All right, save data successfully sent to cloud. You can close the application or return to the game. You can also periodically check for opponents' out. So I'm going to return to the game, so I want to show you that functionality. All right, so what is this? This is a new phase that I created that allows you, while you're waiting for your opponent to, while you're waiting for your opponent, you can just review the situation, okay? So you can just click around on your units and do that, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to minimize this right now, and we're going to go back into the game as the Soviet player, and then we're going to play around. All right, so first I'm going to change this back to the proper name so that it knows how to read it. Okay, cool. All right, now we're going to start, we'll start it as, okay, so now I'm going to pick up the Soviet side, and when I do that, when I load this game, it should load, and then it'll say, hey, I'm waiting for my opponent, and what it should do is it should detect it right off the bat. Yeah, it did. Bang. Okay, so there you go. It did it. And it's quick. Um, so what does it mean to go in the cloud? Well, I do have, let's see here. Oh, no. Anyway, I had a page up that showed Azure, but essentially you can see that essentially the way uh, eh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's at, but I had it up. But anyway, isn't it funny when you're doing that? So anyway, so the Soviet player, he all he did was he came back in. It said, "Hey, you're looking for your enemy's file," and they sent it. Bang. Okay. So now when I finish this, it's going to send it back to the NATO, and I'll show how that works, right? So now I'm the Russian player. I'm not going to put anything into deep mode. Sure, I'll assign some cap. Um, pretty much only the, let's see, pretty much only the, where's that guy? Huh. Oh, darn it. All right. Oh, my yak. Okay, great. All right. So now I got everything on cap that I want. I'm gonna hit next. All right. I don't need to do anything with phases or with groups. So hit next. I don't want anything at high speed. I'm going to activate all ships and subs. I'm actually going to turn off from a view perspective. I'm going to turn off the AI info in the menu because there's no AI player. Yes. Notice it makes it nice and clean. All right, hit next. All right, activate stack. I don't want to attack. I just want to show you the thing, but I would normally have activated these bombers, start looking around for NATO to bomb. But I'm gonna go ahead and skip past this. All right, so now I give my orders. All right, so all the ships, we're just gonna tell them to do things, just to, you know, essentially, I'm not gonna be super effective here. Um, yeah, where's the next thing? Yeah, this guy's got a, okay, he's gonna move down here. This group is gonna do that. Who's next? Surely there's somebody else. Oh, this Soviet, yeah, task force. Okay. So we're just going to try to guard this area. I think we're good. I think we've given everybody orders. So at this point, it'll go over to the, oh, no, somebody's, oh, just this group here. It let me know and it highlighted. Okay. All right, bang. Say now, since um, since that phase, the start of orders, is not something that the other user could skip, it doesn't even give you the option to skip. It just figures, oh, there's no reason to give you the option to skip, so just send it. So it sent it. Okay. So now it's sent it. So now it's gone over to the NATO side. So let's go to the other guys, which is here, I believe. Now, so I start clicking around, it should give me it should give me a notification that save data is successfully retrieved from the cloud. Please hit next phase button when you're ready to continue. Okay, so I don't have to start it yet. I can still look at my stuff, but then, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and join the game again. So all I gotta do is hit next, and it should go here. Uh-huh. Hopefully it'll do this in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna change this because when you come back in and hit and save, it should automatically not count the last check that it made 30 seconds ago. This will be the longest 30 seconds in history. All right, there, it found it. Great. Okay, so now that's it. So that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, so it's using the cloud now. I don't have to move the file around. It's a lot smoother, and and I'm hoping to even prove things even more. Um, one last thing, I'm just gonna show you, like, let's say that while you're changing your files around between sides, it tells you that the player that you're playing against has a higher version of the game than you. Then it asks you that it won't allow you to load that. You'll have to update your game, right? So basically, if let's say there's like a critical bug, and I fix it in a new version, and one of the players gets that moves up to that level of the new version, then it makes the other player update to the new version. But the good thing is now, now it's very easy to get the new version. So I'm going to go ahead and show it. It'll take about a few seconds for it to download. It'll probably take about 20 seconds to download. But get new version. So now new thing pops up here. It says click go to get the latest version. The new version will be downloaded. This can take up to a minute, and File Explorer will open. The game will then shut down so you can start the install process. Note, do this only if you're aware that there is a newer version out there. Well, I know there isn't a new version because I'm already on it, but I'm going to try it anyway just to show it. So what this is going to do is it's going to download the 40 megabyte file that is our installer. I did reduce the size of that recently. It was like 60 or something, but all right, bang. So there it goes. It went away, and then it pops up the installer. So I should be able to click that and just install it again. I'm not going to do that because I don't have to install it. I already have the most latest game. This here game is so this game is the other game. This is the Soviet side of it, right? So anyway, so that's about it, really. I just wanted to show how that functionality works. I want to show that it's effective. It's pretty easy to send that data. And if you haven't paid attention, there's been a lot of updates to the game, and I think it's a lot more efficient, a lot more easy to play. So hopefully you agree and give the game a try. So and if you are interested, please go to our Discord link. Again, the Discord channel is pretty cool. There's a lot of good stuff here that you can talk about. Let's see, here's all of my versions of things that have been sent up and stuff. So anyway, it's cool. So thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next time.